Hi, Malik. Hello, Samuel. Hi, Damilola. Hi, Lola. Hi, Mitch. Hello, Abiodun. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Sunday. Hello, Amma. Hi, Lola. Hi, Tope. Hi, Clementina. Hello, Uche. Where is everybody? Does anybody want to say hi? How's your day going? Are you observing holiday? Are you part of the people observing the Muslim holiday, or it doesn't concern you? You're in a different time zone and guys don't do Muslim holidays. How are you? How did your day go? How did your week start? Hi, Uchi. I'm not sure if I've said hello. Hi, Joshua. Thanks for joining us. I'm just going to give about 4 to 5 minutes. If anybody wants to say hi and tell me about your day, that's welcome. Otherwise, we just give about 4 to 5 minutes and we have some people join, other people join us, and then we can proceed to why we are here. By the way, maybe anybody wants to tell me, do you know why we're here? Or you just saw the link somewhere? Let me just listen to what these people say. Okay, Clementina wants to ask a quick question. Sure, go ahead. Clementina, you are muted. You might want to unmute your mic and then speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Good evening, everyone. One thing that is making me skeptical about though I did masters in project management, but
Okay.
currently I'm a carer, so my COS is under care, and I'm going to 4 years now under that COS, as in by next year September I'll be 4 years. Let's
Okay.
pray the government does not change the rule, but if it's still 5 years, so that means I have just 1 year to my LR. One thing that keeps making me scared and holding me back is if I switch, maybe I'm switching to maybe project management or business analyst. Am I going to start counting from beginning? Am I going to lose all the years I've had in care? Do you understand? As in, like the 4 years I've had in care, is it going to be a waste when I now start maybe project management or business analyst? So will I start counting my years again from afresh? Considering that I've done masters, school does not count, and now I'm doing care, and I'm already 3 years in care. By next year September I'll be 4 years. So if I want to now change to be a business analyst or project management, so all those years now I've counted in care, I just want to know, is it going to be wasted and I'm going to start counting from beginning? Some people will say no, some people will say yes. So that's the thing I'm skeptical about, that I need clarity on. Do you get that?
Yes, I hear you very clearly and understand your concern. That's really valid, and it's a concern that a lot of UK people get to face. Um, hmm, I'm going to answer this with knowledge that I have and based off of the information on UK government website. We all understand that changes can happen at any point. So as of today, your COS is tied to your job. Okay, it's
Yes.
tied to your current
Yes.
job and your visa. So it might be safe. Now, I'm not sure it works even if you get a new job. There might be some other dynamics that I don't fully understand. So if you switch employers, you have to like apply for a new COS. So it might not count. Now, I'm not
No,
certain.
because if you are switching employers in care, it still counts.
Mhm.
But
So
going
you're switching
to
to a
check,
different role.
yes, going to
Oh,
check, yes, switching employer is care, it still counts. Your year still counts. But if you are
mhm,
leaving from care to maybe education, leaving from care to hospitality, leaving from care to maybe joining the army, or leaving from care now to tech, that's
mhm.
and when somebody already have 3 years counting.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to hold back to say, oh, let me just keep getting patients. By September next year, I will be 4 years. So if peradventure the law does not change in the UK and it's 5 years, definitely by 2028, which is just because this year is almost running, by 2028 September, I should be applying for my indefinite leave to remain. So I'm thinking that should I just hold on till then? When I get my indefinite leave to remain, I cannot go into tech rather than wasting all the 4 years you already acquire and starting all over again. And with UK, every day they change their law. You don't know.
Yeah, so I totally understand you, Clementina. So it's not something I am familiar with and I have encountered. I'm not sure I know anybody who has gone through that. I can make some findings, and if you share your
Okay,
email with
okay,
me
you are
in the
not in the
chat, I can make
UK.
some findings.
You are not in the
I can make some
UK.
findings and then get back to you.
Okay, 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 okay. I don't know if there are people in the UK that are in this life that know about it.
Yeah, if there's anybody who has encountered it, like you have first-hand knowledge, not AI knowledge, and not
Because
like
even when you
online,
go to the
because a
government
lot of
website,
processes
it's
change.
still not conflicting. It's conflicting. And you will see some people who say, yes, when they change, that years were wasted. They had to start
Mhm.
counting again all over from beginning.
Yeah, so if we are having mixed, if there's no definite yes or no, I would personal advice, I would advise you to complete that 5 years and pray that the laws don't change.
Yeah.
However, you don't need to, you can begin to look into other fields to weigh your CV, to weigh your experience, to just know that okay, at the end of 5 years, if by the time I'm done with I get my ILR, I don't want to do care anymore. I want to do something else. So
Yes.
you need to prepare towards getting that opportunity. So you can
Yes.
take that to prepare yourself. That's
Yes.
what I would advise.
Yeah.
Because
That's my plan. But I still want to know if it's something, because care is not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's killing. It's
I
not
know.
easy. Yeah.
I know. All right. So I see that we have a lot more people on the call. I'm going to try to say hi to everybody. I always like
Thank
to
you.
do
Thank you
that.
for responding. Thank you.
Sure, sure, Clementina, no worries. So I've said hi to a couple of people. Let me see if I've not called your name. Hi, Joshua. Hi, Olainka. Hello, Anuja. Hi, Amomi. Hi, Susan. Hi, Felix. Chukuka, how you doing today? Nan, Ferry, Rebecca. Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Blessing. I know Rebecca. Hi, Blessing. Blessing's name is pretty familiar. Blessing Poco. I feel like I know that name. Not sure where. Hi, is Ijechi. Hello, Nenia. Hi to Lokwe and Jerry Growth. Ferry, your hand is raised. Are you okay? I think that is a mistake. So now that we are here, I want us to get into the crux of work today. Why are we here today? Why are we gathered at this meeting? What are we here to talk about? I want to introduce you to something that you're pretty familiar with, but a lot of people still get lost in this field. And I will start with an introduction to, hold on, something's not sitting right. Um, all right, I won't share my screen, but I want to go straight to, yeah, here. I will put this in present view. Let me see what you can see to let me know once my screen comes up on your end and confirm what you can see. You can see this man walking into his new career path. If that's what you can see, give me a thumbs up or your favorite emoji on the options you have, and then we can get into the body of work today. I will introduce myself, but first, let me explain to you why you're here. And I will tell you a lot of personal stories because I tell stories a lot. I have a 90-day roadmap for you. And I'm telling you that if you're within Europe, you can get a job in 90 days if you follow this path. Now, personally, this is not something that I just pulled off the internet. This has been my personal experience. And I would think I should open with this story. Permits me. I will tell you a lot of stories, so stay with me. I migrated to Europe sometime last year, and I kind of traveled during a period where I traveled during the festive. So like work was slow, everybody had traveled, people were everywhere. So specifically, I traveled in December, and this is May, and I have a job in the UK. And it took me 90 days to get that job. I did all of the things I want to tell you about today, and it worked for me. So I'm not giving you corporate buhaha. I'm not giving you off the shelf tool, and we're not going to talk about things that don't exist. But before I go into the body of work, I'm going to start by introducing this platform that you are on, and it's called Amdari. Now, for you to be here, it means that you have heard about Amdari before, but what exactly is Amdari? Maybe someone has pitched it to you, someone has said something to you, and you're like, oh, let me check them out. So let me explain to you what Amdari is. You know how you go into training? You take business analysis training, project management, any tech skill training. And the training is for 3, 4, 5, 6 months or weeks, and you're done. And you go into a phase of what's next. You're not sure, what do I do? Do I start applying for a job? I'm not confident enough to get a new job. I don't think I know it. You see interview, you see job descriptions, and you're scared because you don't think you know it well enough. Now, when you were training, a lot of trainings are theoretical. So sometimes it's like the practical hands-on, but you know it's not the same as when you're working on a job. That's where Amdari comes. So you have training, you have job, and then there's a gap in the middle. So that is what Amdari is here to cover. So it's an innovative platform where we revolutionize how aspiring professionals build their careers and gain practical experience. So I've trained, but before I go into the job and fumble, I want to see that I know what I have learned from my training. So we are bridging theoretical experience, knowledge with real world experience. We're giving you end to end how the project managers work on a job. End to end, you're seeing that you're managing a project in a confined space where you can make your mistakes and nobody's going to judge you. Where you can make your mistakes and we're not going to give you a query letter. Where you can make your mistakes and your job is not on the line, because it's also a learning platform. So these projects are not just simulated. We don't just bring them from the sky. They're real world projects that exist in the real world. Now, every project you encounter at Amdari will have a fictitious company name, because of course we can't go and say Tesla is having a problem and then Tesla sues us, all right? So, but we understand that the industry where Tesla, for instance, operates in, they face X and Y and Z problems. So we will simulate those problems for you. That's what Amdari is. So the vision here is the way people acquire industry knowledge and experience should change. That's generally what Amdari. So if you're explaining it to someone or you want to explain it to yourself again, Amdari bridges the gap between learning and working. All right. And before I go into all of the plenty stuff I have for you today, let's just talk a little bit about me. I won't say so much because you read up about this. But I am Elizabeth Akenimo, and I go on the streets by Lady B. I'm a certified BA, I'm a certified Scrum Master, and a top voice in business analysis. Thank you. I have mentored and trained over 100 entry-level business analysts at different stages of their career and coming from different skills, career path, different knowledge base, different backgrounds, different career path, and I've taught them how to fine-tune their skills into business analysis. A couple of people have gotten jobs, a couple of people are still on their job hunt, and again, a couple of people shared on the way. But my experience cuts across hospitality tech, financial institution, renewable energy, consulting, and many other small projects on the side. So I have that record, and I am a business analysis specialist at Amdari. That's to say, within Amdari track, if you get on Amdari's program, I am one of the people that will train you. All right. So moving away from all of the introductions, why are we here today? people should clap for me because I said a lot of things about Amdari and about myself. So I needed to encourage me. Clap for me and then clap for Amdari as well. If I don't see emojis or claps, like I'm not gonna continue. I'm waiting for you. Olayinka, is that a question? Okay, thank you. Only Lola clapped for me in this place. Okay, thank you, Lola. You're my best friend. Thanks, Abioda. I assume that you're trying to get to the emoji, but yeah, let's get into why we are here. I don't want to waste your time and I want us to finish in 10 minutes. So I'm going to tell you why you're here. I'm going to talk to you about how I got my job in 90 days, moving from Nigeria to Europe. I'm going to teach you how to negotiate your offer. I'm going to teach you how and why you should build a targeted, tailored application. I'm going to teach you how to hack a hidden market because there is a market that not everybody has access to. I'm going to teach you how to. It's something that you know, like it's in front of you, but don't worry, we get to it. And then we're going to talk about how you can ace your competency-based interviews because interviews come in different sections. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. So first, I want to talk about two key roles. We saw my early slide or the cover page. We're talking about business analysis and project management. These are two roles that work, that intertwined in a way that many people interchange them. Now, a BA is not a PM and a PM is not a BA, but they work together and they work alike. It's important that you understand where your skill sets fit because I find many people struggling with, I learned project management, I have PMP and I want to get a BA job, but I don't feel qualified. The skill sets are intertwined and they are called transferable skills. First, who is a BA and what does a BA do? Who is a project manager and what does a project manager do? These are two distinct careers. And if you know what the differences are, very thin line, there's a very thin line because they are fraternal twins. Okay, they are twins that don't look alike. They are like boy and girl. Business analyst is the girl and project manager is the boy, or the other way, but BA is the girl. What do BAs do? We are the people that understand what we should build and why we should do that. BAs are not product managers. We don't build apps because a lot of people think BAs build apps. We don't build apps. We prefer solution, and our solutions could be product solution, process solution, or a person or a system. So it could be a system, a person and or a system. So we look through what the problem is, what's making your child uncomfortable. I like to use this very relatable example. What is making you uncomfortable? Because at least if you're here and you don't have kids, you may not understand. So you're sick. What's making you sick? What's making you uncomfortable? That's what we do. We are the doctors for businesses. When you're sick, you go to a doctor and the doctor asks you some questions, and then you find them taking some notes and scribbling some things in their funny handwritings. Then they ask you, okay, did you do this? You did this, and then they're like, okay, go do this blood work, investigate further. From the blood work and labs and all of that, and they tell you, okay, this is the problem. Then they try to find out, do you have any underlying sicknesses? Are you on any other medication? Then they prefer the best solution for you. That's what BAs do. We gather requirements. What is called requirement gathering is that process at which the doctor is asking you questions to understand what your symptoms are. So we ask the business stakeholders questions to understand what their symptoms are. What is it that you're going through? What's the impact? How has it made you feel? Since when did you notice this? Those kind of questions. Then we do process mapping and gap analysis. Process mapping is pretty simple, is how things work. Okay, if I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, I say my prayers, I brush my teeth, I drink water, I go to the gym. Those are steps I carry out for me to have an effective day in the morning. And then I put all of those things in a visually appealing artifact as a process map. Then a gap analysis is you identifying what the problem is and where I want to be. Then you find what that gap is. Now you're here today. You are trying to decide if you want to be a BA or a PM, or maybe you already know, but you're not sure what the next steps are. Now, your current state, your as-is state, is that you're an early graduate, or you're in a role that the job you don't like, or you're trying to get a promotion, you're trying to transition into tech. Your future state is that you want to be a thought leader in business analysis. You want to work as a BA at Deloitte. You want to work as a BA in JP Morgan and Chase. What do you do to close that gap? So you see that there's a gap there. You need to take trainings. You need to get experience. You need to showcase yourself. You need to put yourself out there. You need to apply for jobs. Those are now analysis. So those are the gap analysis that you're doing. All right. Stakeholder workshops, really simple stuff. I'm sitting down with you. I'm asking you what's going on, what's happening with you. A workshop is a larger group. One-on-one is interview. So it's like interview with a wider audience. All right. Then we do user stories, and then we produce certain artifacts like BRDs, ASIS, to be, etc. I won't go into the core of that. When we see in camera, we'll go into that. We use certain tools like Jira, Confluence, Visio. I'll explain what those do. But as a project manager, you will see here that project managers say, okay, BAs have said we're doing this, we're building this. How long is it going to take us to build this? How are we going to deliver? How much is it going to cost us? So a project manager is more about delivering a project on time and within budget. A project manager is focused on delivering a project on time and within budget, within scope. So you're checking scope, you're checking time, you're checking cost, you're checking quality, amongst other things, and you're assessing risk. Now, while I'm leaving you to do all of that cool stuff, as the BA, I'm here speaking to business. Project management is saying that, okay, business wants us to do X, Y, and Z, and this is what's going to cost us. For instance, you don't go to the hospital you can't afford. You must have done a cost analysis to say, oh, can I afford this thing? No, you can't. For people who have senior sicknesses, and I call them senior sicknesses, like not even Alzheimer's, it's not senior, kidney diseases and all of those, they have to do dialysis for a certain period of time. Now, that time, is it enough to resolve this problem? How much are you going to spend? What's the quality of treatment you're getting? That's what project managers do. They build artifacts like RAID logs, project plans, governance plans, etc. Now, where these two roles intertwine, both of them can gather requirements from stakeholders. Both of them document. Both of them manage the project end to end. However, project managers, when the project is for 6 months and we get to 6 months and we've delivered, they end. But with BAs, we don't end when the project goes live. We have to maintain. You know how you go to the doctor and then they give you diagnose the problem, then they give you a drug and tell you, okay, come back within 2 weeks. Project managers will stop by giving you the prescription. Go and buy the drug. If you like, take it. If you like, don't take it. BAs will follow up with you. You've taken the drug, go to the pharmacy, get it, then come back after 2 weeks for us to reassess and see that you're okay. So PMs use tools like MS Project, Smartsheet. We all use Jira for management, and then, a lot of other titles accompany this. At any point, if you have questions, please let me know so that we can maximize this time. Again, we're going to round up in 10 minutes. Okay? So moving on, BA versus PM, I like to do this very short explanation of what the differences are. BAs will say, what are we building and why? Project manager will say, how are we delivering this on time and within budget? BAs will focus on gathering requirements, analyzing it, designing the workshop, designing what the solution should look like. Project management is around governance, change management, delivery of the project. So they sound simple. One can sound very busy compared to the other, but they're both strategic and they both they sharpen your brain. So you need to work with analytical skills, the analytical thinking, critical thinking, etc. All right. B is barely on the budget. We barely do the budget. We can only do the budget if there's no PM on board. If the project doesn't have a project manager or there's no PM office, then we will do budget. But the project manager, that's their thing. So if you like doing budget, you like dealing with money, you probably want to be a project manager. But if you don't like dealing with money, you don't want to do one of those numbers things, maybe business analysis is for you. All right. We work very closely with each other, and we in business analysis, we have certain methodologies. I mean, this goes across both though. So it's agile, it's waterfall, it's lean, or it's a hybrid. All right. So these are things that you know now. If you didn't know it before, thumbs up. Now you're no longer in office. So I want to talk about the UK market. Do you have questions on PA and BM? You understand what each of them does, or each of them do? The correct one. Please give me emojis if you understand. If you have questions, let's take your questions. Otherwise, I will proceed to talk about the UK market. All right. I take that as you understand everything I have just explained about BAs and PMs. So now let's talk about how do you get this job? How do you hack the UK market? The UK market, just like every other European market, is high in demand for BAs and PMs, amongst other skill sets. On average, a junior BA will earn about 30k pounds a year. That's on average, because it depends on, like, government sector, public sector, private sector, then conglomerates, multinationals, and all of that. But on average, you will earn at least 30k pounds. That's for entry level. Then if you grow up, you get certifications, you're now becoming a big boy in the field or a big girl in the field, you can go up to like 65. And then either as an independent contractor or a full-time contractor, a senior BA, you can get as high as 100, because I've done a couple of interviews where you get to like 100k pounds or 100k, 130k dollars, that kind of thing. So depending on, again, on the sector. For project managers, you get places, you get entry level like 40k to 55k. These are average and based on available statistics. Okay, it's not like project managers earn higher than BAs, or because that's what these numbers look like. I'm just telling you that this is what is available online. Middle management, you get like 55 to 75k, etc. The numbers speak for themselves. But you must know that there's certain sectors that are hot cake, and it's a no-brainer. Financial services is hot cake, whether it's banking or it's non-banking. If you're working with a financial institution, you are hot cake today. And the way banks are evolving these days with the rise of artificial intelligence and the rise of technology, we don't operate the same way we used to even 2 years ago. So you know that the more technology is improving, the more demand you have. So financial services is number one hotcake sector. Number two hotcake sector in the UK is government. I see a lot of government jobs, even in other Northern American countries. There's a lot of government jobs. It's like the NHS is always recruiting, and there's a question about culture there, because why they're always recruiting, but that's not my business. They're always recruiting. There's always an opening. If you belong to BA communities, you will see there's always an opening. Someone's always posting an NHS job, NHS. And it's like, oh, this is health sector. Health sector is also one of the highest, whether it is government sector or private. Medical field, health sector is also in demand for BAs. Because the way we used to do medicine is no longer orthodox. So we need people who can manage change, who can deliver change. And BAs and PMs are change managers. Then retail and e-commerce, we all know that since COVID, retail has become like the new oil, because people now know that they don't have to go to places to buy things. Stores now know that they don't need walk-in customers, they can reach a wider audience. Management consulting is also one of the in-demand roles, because it cuts across all industries. When you're in management consulting, you're consulting for all sorts of businesses. Maybe they're trying to build a structure, you're doing advisory, you're doing fundraising, you're valid in all of these places as a BA and as a PM. And that's one thing I love most about these fields, because they're very fluid, they're very versatile. You don't have to, it's not like software engineering that, oh, you must code and speak some Python language and some other foreign languages. Here, you don't need to. This is like no code. It's like the sweetest part of tech. But it's going to sharpen your brain. It's going to use a lot of brain power. It's going to sharpen your brain. So if you like thinking, you come up with solutions. And there's no right or wrong. That's why I like BAs and PMs again. There's no right or wrong, as long as you can justify, okay, this is the reason, you add like a clause. This is why we are doing this. This is how much is the cost, or these are the benefits. There's no right or wrong. Then scale-ups and startups. Now, there are startups and then there are scale-ups. Startups are good idea, or build the next unicorn. Some of them grow, some of them don't. But startups that have gotten funding are now called scale-ups, because now they are trying to like improve. They are trying to scale out, scale up, scale down, and all of those scaling other things, get new product line, reach new audience, expand to new markets. You come into those spaces. And now it can be very confusing, like, how do I function here as a BA? I'll tell you, because I've worked with a management consulting firm where we advised for startups and scale-ups. Now you have a company that comes to your organization, or your company exists, right? Say Amdari is scaling up. We are in the UK market now, yeah, UK market, and we're trying to get into Australia. Let's say Australia. We're not just going to rise up and go there and build an office and, yeah, hi, we are here, we're going to teach you tech. We need to do some feasibility study. And for you to do feasibility study, somebody has to handle this. Now, the pain point here is, and Gary wants to get to the tech market in Australia. That's their future state. Their current state is they don't know jack about how Australian market works. They can do desk research, but desk research is limited. So we want to get people on ground. We want to speak to the employability markets in Australia. What are they looking out for? What are the skills that are in demand? Why are these skills in demand? How can BAs function? How can tech come in? What's the technological landscape of Australia? All of those things and many more are kind of questions that Amdari needs answers to for them to decide if they want to go there. Now, for you to do that as a BA and as a PM, if we say, okay, let's do feasibility study for 6 months, the PM has to manage it. What's it going to cost us to send people to Australia? Where are they going to stay? All of those things, like event planning. So think of the project manager in this case like an event planner. You want to put that information together. And the BA is going to be concerned with, okay, now I'm here now. What do I need to do? So before I get there, what do I need to know about the market? Do I need to start speaking to people? Do I need to contact companies? Are companies receptive? That's how both of them can function in a firm like Scale-Ups or even management consulting. Then insurance and legal, I don't think I need to explain this one because everybody's taking legal and compliance very seriously. And insurance, everybody wants to be insured, either on your car, your life, your house, your properties, assets, because footballers insure their legs, for instance, because their legs are assets. So you want to insure it. If something goes wrong, yeah, you want to be compensated for it. So insurance is one place that a lot of fraud tends to be happening these days with the rise of technology. So they need BAs and PMs like me and you to help them manage risks, understand the risk, and decide on what their response to the risk. Are they accepting this risk, or are they transferring it, or they're mitigating it, etc. So that is the UK market as of today. Now, how do you get into the UK market? You want to build what I call your baseline. And what is your baseline? You want to have a standout CV. This is where we should talk one-on-one like friends. You want to have a standout CV. Now you've gotten all of these trainings. You've done skills. You have PMP and CBAP and Prince 2 and Safe and Agile, but you can't put together a CV that speaks to your experience. You will not get calls. Someone on this call at area mentioned that her current role is very stressful and she would like to change. If you are in care, customer service, sales, field agent, marketing, the first question in your mind is, oh, I need to get a BA job. I don't have any experience. I need to get a project management job. I have no experience. But I don't think that that is true. Because as long as, even if you have just been going to a kiosk to sell for someone, to do trade and exchange, you sell something, collect money, or how much, that's retail, right? The way you write it in your CV, nobody needs to know that it was a Yabisi shop that you were working. Nobody needs to know. You don't, even if it was your business, you're not going to write there founder of. Nobody wants to employ a founder. They don't have money to pay founder. They don't have money to pay you as CEO because you're coming in as BA. They don't have money to pay you as CEO. You didn't build a business that has an IPO, like selling on the stock exchange market. Nobody really cares about your CEO on Instagram. However, there's a way you can package that CV, that experience. I'll give you an instance. I like telling stories, so I'm going to tell you this. When I was doing my NYSC, and most of us here are Nigerians. We're not Nigerian then. NYSC, National Youth Service Corps, is this 1 year compulsory service to the nation that you do once you graduate from the university. So when I was in my NYSC, I used to be an online vendor for bags and female wears and shoes and all that. And imagine that was not my first experience. My first experience was customer service. And I'll tell you how to transition your skill in customer service. So if all I knew was how to do that online job for like 2 years, I could be calling myself a CEO and not get a role. Or I could say I was the managing partner or business consultant for that firm, for that organization. If anybody asks me, oh yeah, it's a startup, well, what happened to the business? It closed. Startups close. Okay. So it was a startup. And I was there for 2 years. And the core of my work was interacting with stakeholders, e.g., customers and business leaders, to ensure that their needs were met. So customers places an order, I package the order, or I drop ship it and I send it to them. So I was interacting with customers to understand what their needs were and consult, or interacting with business to understand how they can solve those customer needs and ensure that customers were satisfied. Again, it's bags and shoes I was selling. So this business I was into is in retail industry. Nobody's going to ask you the nitty-gritties of, okay, where's the business located and show me their logo. Nobody cares. They want to just see how you have taken those skill sets and you have formulated them, you have packaged them, you have beat it. And then I'm not saying you should lie, okay, because don't put into your CV what you cannot defend. However, your CV gets to places you don't get the opportunity to get to. So you want to ensure that it speaks volume about you and for you. BA with 10 years of experience in entertainment industry, specializing in hair, and then you just write a list of things that you did, like you're writing curriculum of educational curriculum. Oh, do this, do that, went to the market, came back, washed the meat, boiled it. Nobody is interested in that. If all you did was chefing, you only knew how to cook food for your husband and children, or for your wife and children, sweetheart, that's business analysis. You were the chief operating officer or head of operations in your home. Fine-tune it. What's the business name? If they ask you about the business, packed up, is a startup or a scale up, and they moved out of your country. If, for instance, you're in Nigeria, they moved out of Nigeria. If you're in UK, they moved out of UK. So they moved out of the country. Nobody really asks you, oh, what happened to the company. It's only when it comes to background check, and then they need to know, okay, places you've worked. And again, what they will check on background check is what you give to them. So I'm not going to teach you that hack. Come and ask me later. I'll tell you how to hack that part. But then, the CV rule that applies in the UK market, I see many people with CVs that are like newspapers, magazines. Would you read that? You won't read it. No hiring manager has the time to go through a 4-page CV. I know you have all of these experiences, but I don't need them if they don't make sense and help me and point me to how you can solve this problem I'm hiring for. I need someone who's going to sell water bottles, and you're telling me how you built a house. How does that fit into my portfolio? Even if you have transferable skills, you need to know how to transfer this skill set, and your CV has to show that. Not that you worked for Lagbaja & Co, or you worked for JP Morgan and then you were just there as an intern. Even if you were an intern, don't put intern, don't write intern. Because so there's this psychological block you hit when you see an intern. You're like, so there are two ways to look at it. Either this person was learning, or this person was just there to do all the other administrative tasks that nobody wanted to do. And you want to sell yourself strong. Nobody's going to ask you, oh, there was this person, an intern. Hi, did this person work as XYZ, your organization? Yeah. Or was this person in your organization between this time and this time? Yeah. So nobody's going to say, okay, what did the person do on a daily basis? A lot of things happen in the organization. I'm not going to tell you that. Don't stress my brain. Nobody really does that. So like, don't go with the fear of, oh, but all I just know is, oh, I just graduated from school, or oh, I just finished my master's, or oh, I'm doing this role that does not relate. I started a customer service even though I have a bachelor in accounting. I started with customer service. What was I doing? I pick calls and wear headsets every day, pick 100 to 150 calls a day, and resolve the calls in 3 minutes. and ensure that the customer is happy and solve that problem on the spot. I cannot interrupt a customer. Those are the rules. I can't interrupt a customer. They have to finish complaining. And then in all of the plenty paragraphs that they wrote, I have to pick out what the problem is. So business is going to give you paragraph of problems, but you have to pick out, okay, this is the problem. So that's why you hear when you call customer service, they'll tell you, okay, if I hear you correctly, you placed an order, you're yet to receive it, and it's past the timeline you were given. The person said a lot more things, but it's in my place to summarize it and check with the person, is this what you said you're going through? And then the person says yes or no, this is this, and then they will clarify. How does that convert into business analysis? Anybody that has solved problem on the spot, you know better. I'm sorry, there's someone who's on mute, and yeah, done that. So anybody who has solved problem, you've worked in customer service, your thinking is fast. You're thinking on your feet. You're trying to solve a person's problem on your feet. You don't have time to look into documentation and say, okay, what did they say we should do when somebody calls and they cannot access their app? And they're like, oh, hold. No. If the problem requires escalation, you escalate it immediately and follow up with your client. Stakeholder management. You learn problem solving. You learn to gather requirements. You learn to document the requirement. Because I worked in a call center. I worked in Jumia call center. And the moment a call comes in on Excali, Salesforce opens. They create a Salesforce case. And as the person is talking to you, you are filling it in immediately. Because the moment your shift closes, you must not have any open tasks. So you have to, I learned how to type fast. I learned how to solve problems on my feet. I learned critical thinking. I learned how to say, okay, with all of the things they have taught me, all of the training I've received, how do I solve this problem? So my brain is constantly searching. You know the way AI, so my brain is like, okay, yeah, this what do. Okay, no, I can't solve this problem. I need to escalate it to X and Y person. So if you've worked in customer service, that's how to translate your skill set. If you're in care, which many people in the UK are in, and it's like, how do I translate my skill set? See me in camera, I'll tell you how to translate it. I want to tell you right now, but see me in camera. In project management, you're trying to manage budget, time, scope, quality. You cannot, we're going to go to the salon, fix our nails, fix our hair, and what else do you do at the salon? Wash my hair and fix my hair. That's my scope. I'm not supposed to go to the salon to make sales, to sell a product. That's out of scope for me. So the project manager ensures that what we say we will do, that's what we are doing. So hiring managers will be looking for, okay, what's this project about? Objective of the project, the scope of the project, the timeline of the project, how you manage the resources, how much budget did you manage? Maybe you're a full-time housewife or house husband, and all you knew how to do was go to the market and buy items. They gave you 200K in Naira for, should I be speaking in Naira? Okay, they gave you 200K in Naira for monthly upkeep. How did you manage that budget? That's project management. Now, the way you write in your CV, you don't have to say I did this at home, even though you're trying to be honest. But you manage budget related to food items in the house, related to food items for a startup company in agriculture or a startup company in retail. Say something, just add an industry there. And okay, there was a 200,000 a month is going to come to like 1.2 million. So the project was like 1.2 million for a period of 6 weeks, 8 weeks. All they want to see is that, okay, how did you allocate resources effectively? What did you do when you ran out of budget? Or did you ever encounter running out of budget and there was still time to accomplish the project? What did you do? How did you manage difficult stakeholders? So you want to quantify in both tracks, you're quantifying your deliverables, your results. And for you to do this properly, you have to not only be trained about it, you also have to practice. It sounds very easy when you're just reading it and someone is just telling you and someone is sharing screen and showing you all of these things. It sounds easy. But having put all of these things, okay, let's say you now have it correctly. How do I make my CV be seen? Use simple text. I don't have that on the slide, but listen. Use simple text. Don't use design text. Don't do your CV on Canva. I know you're trying to beautify it and let it look, the less is more. We don't want colors. We don't want Canva. We don't put pictures on your CV. In today's modern world, I still see people graduate that put pictures and personal information, marital status, state of origin, date of birth. Nobody cares because those things can inform, they can form a bias about if this person should be employed or not. So over time, it has been removed such that you're employing somebody, not because you think this person has a pretty face, because if you put pictures there, then you can see, oh, I like the way this person looks. You're employing somebody based off of their work. And that's why your work has to speak for itself. In BAs and in business analysis and project management, we do our CVs in what we call projectized format. That is not a traditional summary, skills, jobs, list, companies that work for the date lists. No, we do it in projectized because in one company, you can work on 4 or 5 projects in a 2-year period. Maybe you just manage, and you can work on 2 projects at a time. So this one, the deliverables are different. This one, the deliverables are, this one, they just want a asymmetry. This one, they want you to build an ERP tool. They want you to improve their processes. This one just wants you to document and hand over. So you can have 4 or 5 projects. That's why we do it projectized. Then you want to use action words. You want to lead, you led something, you manage something, you maintain something, you delivered something. So use action verbs and show results. When we say action verbs and show results, many people now stand to put, resulting to a 20% decrease in sales. Can you measure that? Because you want to be careful. That's a trick part. If you cannot measure, you cannot explain how we measured 20% savings, don't add 20% savings. So there's this thing about, add numbers. You want to be careful about the numbers you're adding because they're not random numbers, they are matrices. You want to add matrices to your CV, not just numbers because they exist. If you're with me, please, are you with me? Am I pouring water into a basket as the water past the grocery? Or you understand?
We can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
And you are following me. You got everything that I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So let's proceed. Haven't dressed your CV to emphasize. Now, another thing before I move forward from here, another thing you want to know is, this is a trick. When you're doing jobs, you know that of course you have to tweak your CV. Like, you don't need me to say that, or do I need to emphasize that? You have to tweak your CV. So when I moved to Europe and I had to look for a job, it was a full-time job. I wake up in the morning, brush my teeth, sit in front of my laptop, and start my job application. I had like 20 tabs open. I had 7 versions of my CV, all of them on Google Drive. One was project management. One was BA with 2 projects at work. One was BA with 1 solid project, like I'm highlighting, like emphasis on that project. One was management consulting. Like, I just made sure to touch all of the fields I had gone into, so that, okay, if it's this one, I had products as well because I've functioned as a product owner before. So I had 7 versions of my CV, and then I had like 20 tabs open. I had a tracker, an Excel tracker, spreadsheet. I use Google Sheets. What I did there was the name of the company, the link to the job description, and the job title. Because for every CV, I'm tweaking my CV to suit that job role. So for every CV I tweak, I need to save it to know what CV I used. So I want to show you how I quickly did that, because explaining it might just be a bit complicated. So let me get into let me get into a document, and then I'm going to show you how to. I don't know how you can do this with Word. I think you can, but instead of having plenty versions of your CV, you want to have something like this, for instance. Okay, so this is one version of this work. I can go here. So this thing has not finished loading. All right, it's done now. So I'll go here. There's something here called version history. Word also has version control, but it's a lot easier with Google Docs. And this saves on the cloud. There's something called version history. I'm going to name this version. So I use this version to apply to Amdari, okay, for senior business analyst role. I'm saving this. I'm going to make changes to this document, and I'm going to come here. I'm just going to remove all of these, delete it. Now, this is my CV. I'm editing my CV, okay? I'm going to say personal auto insurance with 7+ years of experience. I'm going to come down and remove, for instance, this part. Okay, so I'm making changes to this document. It's a 10-page document. I'm going to stay within the first 2 pages so that you can easily spot the difference. And I'm deleting this. I'm going to come here again, save this version. I use this version to apply to JP Morgan for data quality specialist. Because remember, I'm tweaking my CV to suit the role. So Amdari now calls me. I've done this for like multiple CVs, okay, and I'm applying here and there. Amdari now calls me for an interview. I don't want to start picking my brain on what did I use to, which CV did I use, what have I told them? Because remember, you're defending the CV they have. So what have I said to them? I will come back to file, I will go to version history, and I'll see version history. To my right here, you will see all of the former version. So this is the CV I have for Amdari. If I click on this, it shows me every other thing that I had as the original. If I come here, JP Morgan, it highlights changes that I have made. So I deleted this, I deleted that. So I can restore this other version. You click on restore, and I have this document back the way it was in the beginning. So I can now say, okay, this is what I've told Amdari. This is the CV I'm going to use to prepare for that interview. Do you understand what I've just shown you now? If you don't understand, say I don't understand. If you understand, give me thumbs up. Because that's key. Tweaking CVs can be very stressful. So it is very important that you are doing it right. Okay, and not wasting our time. Faith does not understand. Faith, where are you lost? What do you know up to so that I know where to bring you back? Because I have a lot more to do. Faith, where are you lost? I need to find you. ASAP. You just joined. Okay. The recording is going to be shared with you, and then you can go through where we have just come from, because it might not be very easy going back to the start. Okay, since you just came in. So we are talking about how you can land your job, your first BA job or PM job in UK market. And what I had just shown was how to tweak your CV, because you have to tweak your CV for every role you apply. Now, well, not every role per se, because some 2-3 roles can look alike. One CV can still function, all right. But where there's a major change, you want to reflect that change. Sometimes it's a wording language. Sometimes it's a wording thing. You have to, like, some people will say elicit requirements. Some people will say gather requirements. So you want it to read their language so that they can. I mean, you're speaking the same language, okay? That's it. Another hack I want to give you here is look through multiple CVs and see what they're asking for. What are they looking? What's the hiring manager in the UK looking for in a business analyst? You can't get that from just 1 or 2 job descriptions. So go to LinkedIn, search, or Indeed or Glassdoor, whatever works, and just look through, okay, these are the similar things. These are the differences. Now, those differences, note them. Do what I call a skills gap audit. Okay, skills audit. These are the skills I know. This is what is required. This is the part I don't know. So how do I resolve this part I don't know? If what I've said has just gone over your head, see me in camera. I will move on because I want us to finish in 10 minutes. All right. Besides your experience and everything you put on your CV, for your CV to be rich, you may need certifications. Now, it's a may, because you can still get the job without a certification. Certification sort of gives you credibility, industry standard credibility. But there are many people who read and pass certifications and don't know jack about what the role is about. So you can have certifications and still not get the job because you're not positioning your experience properly on your CV. Phew. These are cute CVs that you can, cute certifications you can have for either or both roles. You can go into BCS Foundation. In the UK, that's very important. If you're in the UK, you're going to business analysis, ditch IIBA, go for BCS. All right. If you're outside of the UK or you intend to go outside of the UK market, then you can look into IIBA because that's global. However, UK is like, okay, if you have, you know how you have nurses that are UK registered nurse as against just generic, like that's this is our own person we know. All right, that's what BCS is. And then for project managers, you want to do Prince 2 Foundation, which is also in near essential in the UK. Then you can do the couple of others, going to Agile, going to Safe, Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma. These are like on the side stuff, but important IIBA, BCS for business analysis, Prince 2, and PMP. Okay, there's IIBA. IIBA has a course, has a certification for project managers. I don't remember which it is now. And PMI also has, so you have PMI PBA. Okay, so it's like IIBA is generic, IIBA is BA, but there's also Project Management Institute, that is the international body for project managers, but they also have a certification that speaks to business analysis. That's PMI PBA. Okay. Yeah, I will not sit here for too long because it's either or. Let's get into that hidden market I spoke to you about in the beginning, in the beginning of this session. I spoke to you, I told you that we're going to learn how to hack a hidden market that you all know very well, but you don't use. And there is no modern day professional that is not on LinkedIn intentionally. And I'm saying intentionally because if you search me on LinkedIn now, you won't find me now, and it's intentional. All right, you find me from like July. LinkedIn. What am I saying about LinkedIn? I know people personally. I've been headhunted from LinkedIn. Someone reached out to me. 3 people reached out to me. One was Canada, one was when I was in Nigeria, and the other one I really did not get the location. Now, why did I not get those roles? I'm going to that. But 60 to 70% of UK tech roles are filled through networks. Where do you get this networking from? You know, everybody on LinkedIn is an expert. Everybody on LinkedIn is, I know this, I'm selling this, I buy, I can help you do this. But you have to network, get into the community. Okay, everybody's coming to front. I'm happy to announce. They don't know, most of them don't know jack. So you have to be able to decipher between the ones that know and the ones that don't. But outside of LinkedIn, there are other social settings. Go to conferences, go to tech events, come to sessions like this, go to virtual events that are organized to talk about career, even if you're not job hunting. Just network, know people who can do stuff, know people who know people who know people who can do certain things, because you need it someday. So you can use LinkedIn, you can do interviews. When you go to conferences and sessions, or you're in a class, you're in a class with other people in a cohort, don't just come focus on our training, do assignments, interact with the people in your circle. All of you might be learning business analysis together, but people are at different stages of their career life. People know people who know people. I worked with customer service for somebody. I was a bank relationship manager to one top shot guy. So network. Hey, what do you do? How do you spend your day? Small talks. All right. You don't have to think about, hey, what's the next big thing? Hi, you go to networking event and everybody's introducing themselves to you with their portfolio. Hi, I'm a founder or 5 times founder of TEDx speaker. We're going to be trying to gain more. Let me see that treasures question. Sounds very interesting. Are we going to be trying to gain more knowledge? Yes, you will. I'll get to that in a bit. A very tiny bit. Don't worry, we'll close in 10 minutes. Attend BA community events. There are lots of them at Amdari. We have a BA community in Amdari that you can learn from current learners, past learners, experts, growing people on your level that, okay, we don't know this together. People who have been where you are and have advanced 1 step, those who have advanced 2 steps. And we have events like this I think 2 to 3 times a week. If you're interested in project management, look for project management communities. Look for events. Leverage, instead of doom scrolling on Instagram, researching. When you do search once, twice, the algorithm will bring it to you. Yeah, this person is interested in this content. They'll bring it to you. Same thing with YouTube, same thing with Google. You just find that they're coming, ads will come to you and it's interesting. Oh, join the WhatsApp group first and decide that, okay, I don't like what you're doing here and step away. Instead of not joining it at all. Join their Telegram group and see what's happening. Sometimes just join and stay there, just be still. I don't like being in lengthy groups, but some other people don't mind. So if you look after like 6 months, nothing of value has come out of this group. Even in that team, reach out to other people. Hi, feel free to be the first person to initiate a conversation. Take that lead. And then there's a compound effect. There's this saying that 1 connection a day equals to 90 contacts in 90 days. Small, consistent actions. Don't wait for that one big, large event that everybody's coming to you. Everyday conversation. If you're into care, the people you interact with at your office, people you're taking care of, they know people who know people. If you're into customer service, be kind to your customers. They know people who know people. All right. The same way you can gain one connection a day can give you 90 contacts. One bad one or one lost one can take 1 million others from you. So you want to start today to get into those networking events that you've been afraid of, LinkedIn events that are happening. Attend those events. Listen to what they're saying. You meet people, they hi, I was at this event with you. I really like this. How does it resonate? Some people will answer you, some people will not. It doesn't have to be hiring manager and recruiter, because many of us just go to LinkedIn. They're looking for hiring manager or recruiter or someone who says they are recruiting for. Sometimes it's not those people. Sometimes it's someone else who has met you on a different platform that can pitch you forward. Oh, my company is having this. The person not HR. My company has this opening. I think you should apply. So network in the smallest and simplest of ways. I've said all of that. Now I said we are going to ace your interview. How do you prepare for an interview? Many people still fumble this thing we call interview prep, and it's sad. Okay, just making sure that my slides are moving. Many people still fumble this thing we call interview prep, and it's sad. Gone are the days where interviews used to be all uptight and you have to look like your neck is glued to your head. You're now more relaxed. Interview is a conversation. First, I want you to work with the mindset. I learned this from a colleague. Work with the mindset that they need me. Okay? Tell yourself before you go into an interview, they need me. There's still something in your CV that made them call you. Even if it's just formality. They need me. Go into it like you're trying to win an award or you're trying to win a prize. And you are the prize. Don't go with pride though. You're the prize. But they need me. So I know this thing. When you keep telling yourself, it's hard, what are they going to ask me? Oh, read up about it. Sometimes it's not even about the company. There are people who still ask, okay, what do you know about what we do? But we gone are the days where we have those kind of questions. There might be 1 or 2 that still throw it in today. But more people are interested in, you find questions like difficult stakeholder. If you're doing BA or PM, you'll come across this question. Have you ever encountered a situation where you had a difficult stakeholder? How did you manage that person? Many people think far. Don't go far. Come back. Come home. Or they're simply asking, even if it's your brother that you did not agree with on a certain topic, that's a difficult stakeholder. Nobody's going to ask you, so who is the person? Where did you meet the person? You know, all of us know how to create stories. We are content creators. We are creators. We are very creative. The thing will come to you now, but you need to practice. If you go with fear will block your thinking capacity. So don't be afraid. So for every question you want to answer, there's this framework, very popular framework called STAR, where we say situation, task, action, results. These ones apply to competency questions. Okay. However, there are certain behavioral questions that people just want to ask, how do you spend your weekends? Those kind of questions that you think is just every question in an interview is an interview question. It might not come off like that. It might come off very sick, very calm. But every question is an interview question. So you want to answer in a way that shows you putting forth a soft skill. They're checking for communication. They're checking for how you manage people. They're checking for how you handle difficult. Many people run in difficult situations. How do you unwind? You tell them, I sleep. And make a decision from there. But how do you unwind? They're checking for other hobbies. that you have. What do you do when things become chaotic? I listen to music. It's okay to say you listen to music. What type of music? Maybe the person also likes jazz and you listen to jazz. Have you listened to jazz when you're tense? You should, because it's really soothing. And you can do like gospel jazz, you know. That's the soft music. Oh, what you do in your free time? I paint, I crochet, I write songs, I journal. It shows creativity even when you're not working, rather than just sit down and watch a movie. Oh, I watch movies. Oh, I like romantic or Christmas movies because it helps my nerves relax. But it's not like I watch action movies. Sorry, I had a friend who lost that interview because she was tensed, and then when I think the person in the interview was trying to make her relax and asked her what kind of movies do you enjoy, and then she was like movies where they carry gun. I think she meant to say action movies, but she was like really tense, and then like movies where they carry gun. So breathe. They want you, they need you, and you're the best person for the job. So for project managers, you will find, okay, tell us a time where your project went off track. It's not all projects that will stay within timeline. It's not all projects that will stay within scope. So what you want to do is, oh, we quickly cut it and then we resolved it. All right. When did you have a budget overrun? That's a very popular problem in project management. Talk to me about a time, a process you improved, or talk to me about a digital initiative These are things that the projects at Amdari that we teach you, all right, helps you answer this question. Even if it's one project you worked on end to end, you'll be able to take up any business analysis question. And then we give you support all through. Okay, so we always say to use the STAR framework. Tell me about a situation where the task that you carried out. There's no I in team. All right, so everything in even if you worked with a team, it's I that did it, it's you that did it. Okay, so I led even if it's not you, you bodied up with somebody. You know how they did that discovery session, you know how they did design session. So I led the design session, or I supported the design session, or I elicited requirements from stakeholders. If everything I'm saying is going over your head, you need to see me in camera. That's what I'm going to say to you. So all I'm saying here is the interview market, or the interview section of job hunt, is the part that many people flop. You've gone through recruiter call, you've gone through hiring manager, then we get to the technical round, and then you start to panic. Just sit back, relax, like get your most comfortable chair. Of course, don't look so, what's the word? Carefree. All right. You want to be ready, but at the same time, you don't have to, yes, ma, yes, sir. That's what I did. Breathe. All right. Don't be tense. Okay. I'm going to move on quickly from this because I have a lot I want to tell you people. This is the sweetest part: offers and negotiation. Now you've sent them that banger CV, you have hacked the leading job market, someone referred you to a job, you applied, then they called you for interview, you nailed the interview. Look, that's sorry. And you've nailed the interview, and then now they've gotten to, how much do you think your skill sets are worth? Here's one part that I see many professionals don't pay attention to. It's super important because you want to survey the market. Don't overshoot and don't undersell yourself. Within Europe, I know that UK and other European markets, they are mandated to put out what the job is looking for, even though they know they are mandated to do that. Some firms don't, some people do, but you will still be asked. And why they're asking you is not because they don't know how much they want to pay you or they didn't put it out. It's just, did you pay attention to that? They can't be saying they want to pay 70K and you're asking for 100K, thinking they will negotiate with you. And don't give a number, give a range. This is something that I learned. Don't give a number, give a range. What that means is, instead of saying, I'm okay with 100K a year, you can say, oh, I'm currently, or based off, so there's something someone taught me in the US market. So he said, when you are asked, how much would you, or however they coin the question about salary expectations, your response is something like, you can ask them back, okay, based off of my CV, you have met me, we've interacted, based off of my CV and the going market rate, what do you think my skill set is worth? They'll give you a number. Promise hands to heaven, I tried this for every call I got. They always responded to me. It doesn't work in Nigeria markets. If there's anybody here in Nigeria markets, they will not answer that question. But UK markets will answer you. They'll tell you, so our budget for this role, this is usually within the recruiter call, right? They just want to see, okay, that's where they do housekeeping questions. So our budget for this role is between 40 to 55K with a bit of an extension. We could go like 60K. Is that okay for you? Maybe you were thinking 30K and then they told you 60K. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fair. I was currently in the market for up to like 55 to 65K, but I can settle with a 60. Do you see what I did there? So don't try to flip it back at them. Always negotiate, because even when they say they have a fixed budget, it's a lie. Some of them can actually go like an extension. Because human resource people are also project managers. They're trying to ensure that they get the best within smaller resources. So we don't want to spend so much, we want to get the best. All right. So you want to know your numbers. For you to know your number, you're searching the market. Besides what they put out, besides what the company puts out, what are other companies in same industry paying? What are other people with my skill sets, years of experience across other industries collecting? That will help you create your budget. So don't just pick anything because based off of how much you're earning before, okay, let's add like 25 or 30%. The going rate might be 3-4 times your current rate. So you want to know what the going rate is. Then what you're negotiating, base pay. Yeah, always ask them, is this the full pay or is it just salary? Is it just base pay, right? Base salary. Because sometimes it's like a 5-10% bonus. So you want to put not just base salary, but what are the other benefits that the organization gives you? Sometimes they give learning, which they think is important. I think is important. If you get health insurance, you can use private hospitals. That's also important, even if they don't pay you so much. All right. So a job that gives you 60K annually with no other benefit, and a job that gives you 45K annually with gym subscription, learning and development on like the best learning platforms. They give you things like maybe office lunch. Girl, I'm gonna go with that one because then I don't have to spend all of my money paying for all of those things. All right. So you also want to know what that balance is. Again, check the scope, know that, confirm that you're not below even the minimum wage, and then put it in writing. Okay. So before you leave your current role, don't work on words of hiring managers. Oh, I really like you. I like the call. I really enjoy this conversation. And so Simone is going to get back to you with an offer next week. Then you go and resign from your job. Wait for Simone to get back to you with an offer. You've signed it, they've signed it, and they've told you your resumption dates. In fact, wait until you get onboarding details before you resign. I know that there's the 2 weeks 2 weeks delay, so they usually ask you what your wait period is. So yeah, you can leverage that. As soon as you sign an offer, it's already binding, then you can resign. So don't go on a verbal offer ever. Hold your ears like this. Don't go on a verbal offer ever, because whatever is on the contract supersedes any other verbal conversation that has been earlier promised. Those caveats are always there. All right. So what is your 90-day roadmap? What have I said your 90-day roadmap is on this call? The first 14 days is where you actually get to polish your CV. That's your foundation. It's not like you won't be applying on other days. It's not like other days you will not be polishing your CV. But the moment you pick your CV, okay, I have 90 days to get a job. The first 2 weeks, you're sitting with your CV and reviewing other existing job descriptions and seeing where your CV is lagging. You're working on your CV. You're optimizing your LinkedIn. That's super important, because your CV and your LinkedIn, they need to marry. They need to marry in the sense that some hiring managers can see transferable skills, some may not. All right. So you want to ensure that if you're going to say my CV is BA and it's BA, you don't want to be seeing software engineering. If there's software engineering on your LinkedIn, go and remove it. So you want to have a master CV that has all your experiences. So if you need to put it back on LinkedIn, you know what to do. All right. But that's like the master CV. So dump it somewhere on your drive. Then the next 60 days is where that's where you go into active search. That's where the burnout will come. That's where your momentum is on the high. If you lose momentum in that 60 days, it's difficult to pick it back up. Trust me, I experienced it. I had a mentor who had to call me out of it because it got to a point where I got like 250 rejections. I'm like, I beg, I see the email, I'm like, I beg. I opened multiple emails. I fine-tuned my CV. My name is Elizabeth Ekenimo. I use the CV where I put my name as Betty. I have a CV where I put my name as Ellie. It's still me. Different phone numbers, different emails. I had a CV where my name was my full name. Because I had talks around, oh, maybe your name, if they see your name is African. It doesn't really work because the CV that got me a job had my full name on it. All right. So, but I explored everything. I did my CV where I have 7 years of BA experience. I had a CV where I put 4 years because if they were looking for somebody between 2 and 3 years, I don't want to give them 7 years. They're not going to pay me. So I'll put it like, okay, 3.5 or 4 years. It now makes sense. Okay, if we want 3 years, then we can do 4 years. Yeah, this person can probably take our skill. If they're asking for like 10 years experience, I put my CV of 7 years experience. So you really want to have like that variety of your CV that you tweak. All right, I've talked about doing it and all the skills audit on yourself. Know what skills are they asking for? Which ones do I have? Which ones do I need? So what do I begin to do to close the gap between the skills I have and the skills that are required? Then your 6 days, 5 applications a day, not a week. Sorry, that's a typo. A day. I did 10 daily. If I didn't do 10, I won't go to bed. When I finish doing my 10 applications, I will cover it with the blood of Jesus and watch Yoruba film because that's my favorite genre of movies. I'll go to YouTube and unwind with Yoruba film because I can't come and kill myself and die. But I knew I needed money. So yeah, I kept up my search. Network. I can't shout it enough. Network. If they say there's a meeting, just join and listen, even if you don't do anything. You will hear the people that are talking in the meeting that sound like, this person knows what they are saying. No, check them, you get the person's name. Hi, can you call on the comments? Can I speak with you after this call? You can drop me your WhatsApp or text me your WhatsApp or give me your email. I can reach out to you. I'd like to ask you some questions and you follow up immediately. So if someone gives you their contact, you're in a networking event, someone gives you their contact, don't wait till 3 weeks later. Oh, remember that event last month? I was, as you are collecting the number, hello, hi, this is this person we met at this. When you close from, as immediately you get the number, okay, just saying hi so that you can save my number. Follow up next week. I'm just checking. Do you have time for lunch? Do you have time for coffee? Buy them coffee because you spend money to make money. Buy them coffee, sit with them, know what they have. If they have value to give you, keep them. If they don't have value to give you, discard. All right. Then follow up with hiring managers. It's okay to send an email. It's actually okay to send an email if they mail you with interview details and you have an email address. Follow up with them. Hi, I'm just checking on the interview we had 2 weeks ago. I did that. In fact, on LinkedIn, I reached out to millions of recruiters because I'm like, hey, I just want to know if you have any insights for me on how to navigate the European job market. Some people replied, they told me they didn't know anything. Some people did not have my time. Some people ignored me, but that's okay. You will get rejections. It's better to have the rejections than have silence. Because then when you're being rejected, you know that, okay, my glory day is coming. All right? It's going to be hard. But with our support, we're going to show you how to do it together and track it. Tracking is important because you don't want to be called by Amdari for an interview. You don't even remember what it was Amdari said they wanted. Sometimes when they've closed the job application cycle, they take that job off their network. Maybe you saw it on the website, on their career page or LinkedIn. They take it off there. So then you can't remember. But if you have the link, sometimes it takes you to you won't see it if you search Amdari job careers. You might not see it there, but that link will take you to that page. All right. And sometimes you might just go there and you see, okay, there are many business analyst roles. Which one was the one I applied for? So have that tracking sheet that can help you know, okay, declined or rejected or accepted, next phase. And then there's also the part of using your email, your Gmail to label and clean that, but see me camera for that. Interviews, again, practice. And I'm Gary, we do give you interview prep. We not only train you, and it's a DIY approach. You're getting hands-on learning. We're going to teach you how to get this job. I'm going to teach you how to gain that experience. And then when you receive your offer, remember us, remember me in paradise, because yeah, I'm celebrating with you. But feel free to follow up. It's better for them to tell you, hey, we paused on application, or we closed the application, or you didn't make it, instead of just wait for them to get back to you. All right. Yeah. I want to quickly touch on common mistakes I see people making: not adding keywords, ignoring the sector fit, using generic CV. I used to be in that group of generic CV. In fact, it felt like tumbo. It felt like gamble, because it worked for me in Nigeria. When I moved to the Europe, it didn't work like that. So it was stressful. So I knew that I had to fine tune my CV. All right, so be specific, end to end. Try to touch what the problem is, what you did, what the solution was, or what the objective, the goal was at the end of the day. All right, don't do spray and bullet and then pray that wait for everything to be fine. No, you want to take your time, and don't wait to be 100% ready. You will never get to 100% ready. So you will never be 100% ready. So start now. As soon as you finish this conversation, go and check your LinkedIn. Is your LinkedIn speaking well about your positioning? Is your CV speaking? If it's not, see me in camera. We have lots of work to do. All right. So to wrap up, I've spoken to you about your 90 days. You've polished your CV. You've got on LinkedIn. How can we help you at Amdari? Before you have our CTBO and co-founder of Amdari. She's Omowumi Victoria Sampson. She is a business executive. She has been where you are at now. She has experience in software engineering, product management, marketing, tech entrepreneurship. So I'm mentioning or highlighting this because I don't want you to feel like, oh, who are these people? They're hot cake people. And Jerry is filled with hot cake people. Like, we know the thing. Maybe we don't position. Maybe I didn't position myself well because I don't like blowing my horn. But about me is she has built not just landing pages that converted. I mean, you're here. She has led tech teams. She has recruited tech professionals, and she's passionate about using technology to solve real world problems. I think I saw more of me on this call earlier. Oh, I'm just seeing comments in the chat box. Okay, I will attend to all the comments here, the questions. Mommy, I saw you on this call earlier. Do you want to say hi? Is she still here? Yeah, she's here. Mommy, do you want to say hi to us?
Yes. Hi, Elizabeth. Hello, everyone. Nice to have you all here, and great session, Elizabeth. Here.
All right, thank you very much. That's my team lead and my madam. Okay, I'm just going to go through before I go into my slides more. Just see. Okay, I've touched. Uche asked some of these questions are asked during the job application stage. Is the method to answer the same? What is your salary expectation? What is your notice period? Yeah, I think I spoke about the salary expectation thing, where you can ask them back or you give them a range. So you can ask them back to get what their own range is. And many times, many recruiters answer. I've not come across a recruiter that I asked that did not answer me. Like that first phone call, that's usually where they do all of these checks, even though in the body, because recruiter has told you how much the company is looking to pay. So if you move to like technical round and then maybe final round and then someone asks you again, oh yeah, you feel free to mention. Or you give, instead of saying I'm okay with a 30K, I'm okay with 30K annually, you can give them a range. So I'm within the 30 to 45K range, and I'm happy to negotiate. Okay, so it helps you. Notice period, there really is no, I don't have a trick for that because notice period varies. Some organizations is 2 weeks, some is 1 month, some is 2 months. I've even seen organizations that ask for 2 months because of what it takes to like replace a staff. So I hope that helps answer your question, Uche Nwadia. All right, we've talked about Amdari. Am I showing the same slides again? Okay, no. We've talked about who Amdari is, what our mission is. Beyond BAs and PMs, like I've talked about, emphasis today, we also covered other tech skills like data analysis, data science, data engineering, BAPM. I've spoken extensively about those. If you want to learn more, then wait for the next slides. We talk about GRC, cloud and app security, SOC and threat intelligence. These are parts of cybersecurity. So you're looking to go into cybersecurity. Those guys are catch bad guys. You want to prevent someone from hacking your account and taking your money. Don't use it for the bad part. So we also cover those skills. I also want you to know that why at Amdari, I was an intern at Amdari at some point before I moved to Europe. I was an intern at Amdari from UK. So most of the things that I learned, most of the skill set, not just it came from my experiences as well as the projects that we worked on at Amdari, and it helped me transition. And now I work with Amdari, so you can like see my progression and my growth. So 6 out of 10 of our interns land jobs within 4 months, because at Amdari our timeline for a cohort is 4 months. So between June, July, August, September, you don't even need to finish it for you to get started. As soon as you get on the program, you can get started ASAP as ASAP Rocky. And we get jobs. 4 months is really long because of the way the turnaround time. But I know that in the UK markets, they don't. It's not like the Nigerian market. Like I'm doing a lot of comparison, because Nigerian market, you can go 4 months and someone comes and tell you, hey, you moved on to the next second stage. I've moved on with my life. But you know that within 2 months, you get a response. Within a month, within 2 weeks, you will get a response. All right. And we keep getting more. So as the months increase, we get more. This month alone, this is May. This month alone, we have had 6 testimonials of getting jobs. Even today, that's a public holiday, we had 2. 2 people on 2 different learning tracks have gotten jobs from that. They're not done. These 2 that they are not even done with their learning program. And 85% of our interns, they get at least 2 interviews in the first 4 weeks. Interns that put in the work, because it's important to emphasize that it's not magic. You have to put in the work. If you're not applying, if you're not fighting your CV, if you're not refining your LinkedIn profile, then you probably will not get seen. You're not visible. So you have to be visible and put in the work, and then you get the results. And 100% of people who landed a job said the work experience, internship, and reference letter was what helped them secure the job. Oh, by the way, maybe I didn't mention this, but the way we work at Amdari is not just to walk you through a project and then when you're done, you vanish. No, you use Amdari as your employer. So you get a reference letter. So Amdari is employing you and you're working on this project for Amdari, such that when you put this on your CV and recruiter says, oh, you did this project, where did you? Feel free to say you did it at Amdari. You worked with Amdari. Okay, Amdari is registered in the UK. You can find it on the UK government website. So you worked with Amdari. It's a legal entity. And then like Amdari employed you. So these are the projects you did while you worked with Amdari. So you get a reference letter, you get reference details, and every other concern that comes to getting jobs, you get those as well. I have a couple of testimonials here, and again, I want us to finish 10 minutes ago. So I will share this with you, and you can click here to visit Chineye's page and hear her testimonial, because within 2 months of joining Amdari on a 4-month program, she landed a job. You have the slide, so yeah, you can look at it. And one thing we find out is that within Canada, US, and UK, well, numbers don't lie. I feel like I've gone over this particular slide before, because we have a lot of vacancies that are not filled, not because they're not qualified professionals, but because you're not visible. You're not visible. We can't see you. And if we can't see you, we can't position you. We can't employ you unless you're visible. So we need to be able to see you. And for us to see you, you need to show yourself forward. All right. So we see that 78% of our applicants of applicants with certifications don't get hired because as much as I've shown you all of those certifications, it doesn't prove knowledge. It doesn't prove that you can do it. Many people read and pass. Hell, people pay for other people to write certification exams for them. Did you know that? If you did not know, you know it now. So certifications are not enough. You need to show. And for you to show, you actually have to put, so that when you are not just on your CV, when you are talking about it, you can walk through it. Recruiters want evidence of real world impact. Again, you're not getting the job not because you don't have the skill set or experience, but because you do not show it. We're not seeing impact. Your CV is the same thing that they've seen over and over. They just open your mail, click on your CV, the same thing. CV is not fine-tuned. Your CV does not show, it's not a showstopper. It's not stopping me to say, oh, hey, this is interesting. What is here? And it's not about beautification. So functionality over beautification. And no UK market context or local experience is why, again, you're not getting calls, which is what is here to close for you. We want you to be job ready. Giving you work experience, we're teaching you how to build a portfolio, we're giving you what to put inside that portfolio yourself. We're teaching you how to hack the ATS recruitment style. We're giving you UK experience with a backed up reference letter from a legal entity. So it's not an Instagram live experience. You're actually getting it from a UK recognized entity. We are correcting every wrong narrative, and we are giving you a network of other BAs, a network of tech professionals. So with all of these things I've said in the last 10 minutes, I want you to become a practitioner today. And now this is not for everybody. This is only for a select few, because we have a class size and there's limited number of people we can take per cohort. Our next cohort starts on June 6th, right? Did I miss something on this slide? Looks like I did. Okay. Mom, do you want to help me here? Because hold on.
Okay, I'm here. What's the question, please? I was distracted.
Yeah. So I'm getting to the next cohort that starts and how they can sign up.
Yeah.
But I think my slides are not. So I'll just stop sharing.
Okay. So the next cohort is starting on the 6th of June. That's next week, Saturday. Have you spoken about the enrollment and everything there?
No, that's what I was getting to.
Okay. So let me just share my screen from this end. So please just give me a minute, Dimaro, Tope, and everyone else. But thank you all so much for staying up until this point and for paying rapt attention to everything that Elizabeth had to share. So please give me a minute. Let me share my screen. Okay. All right, yeah. So my screen will come up in about 30 seconds because I just opened it up. Aha. Okay. I'd also attend to questions in the chats. Don't worry. So like Elizabeth introduced earlier, my name is Omaomi Victoria Samson, and I am one of the co-founders at Amdari, also the Chief Technology and Business Officer. So based off everything else she has said, the next cohort is starting on the 6th of June. That is next week, Saturday, and enrollment is on. So this particular experience covers the UK work experience, your tailored CV, tailored LinkedIn, and also interview prep, which you have pretty much every Thursday throughout the 4-month internship here at Amdari. We also give you proper job application support. So let's say you enroll today. This is Amdari, obviously. This is you. We don't refer to you as an intern. We refer to you as a specialist, a consultant. And you work with this person Mondays to Friday. Who is this person? Elizabeth spoke to you today. This is Elizabeth for business analyst. We also have Oluchi for business analyst. We also have Queen for business analyst. We have quite a number of specialists. That's the same way we have it for people interested in data science, data analytics. Imagine someone like Elizabeth in different aspects. These are the kind of people that mentor you, and this is them. And they work with you Mondays to Fridays, not 9 to 5, though, for you. We understand that you currently have your busy schedule, maybe you're schooling, you're currently even doing shift job or even a 9 to 5, right? So we know that your schedule is already tight. So what do you do, or how do you participate in this without missing out? We make sure that we make it flexible. So we tell you that you're expected to dedicate and commit a minimum of 1 hour per day. Minimum. That's not the recommended time, but if that's the best you can do, that's still okay. We can work with that. And then every week you meet with your team and your team lead. Who is your team lead? Elizabeth, like I said, if you're joining as a business analyst, she most likely would be your team lead, or Oluchi. Just imagine Elizabeth, but another person. All right. This, like I said, the same thing for other programs that we have within Amdari. So it covers all of that aspect. So this is someone like Elizabeth. They work with you Mondays to Fridays, but not 9 to 5. And you're expected to show up twice a week for meetings. The meeting is for alignment, for brainstorming, for updates, and everything in between, and the task that you're working on. So for every task you work on, they'll be coming from industries that has high hiring demand for your field. Okay, industries like health tech or healthcare, fintech, SCM tech, that's supply chain management tech, industries like construction and infrastructure, in industries like prop tech, industries like what's the other one? Retail, e-commerce, pretty much industries we know has high hiring demand for your niche. So we are compressing years of you trying to figure things out into just 4 months of you getting it right and doing it with the guidance of somebody that has been in the space for nothing less than 5 years. And for all the projects you work on, you will get your CV updated with them. Your CV is revamped from week 5 so that you can start applying to jobs by week 6. Okay, we always encourage early application because you would get supported properly by your team lead and everyone else that is meant to work closely with you. And as we're discussing and talking on this call, the Amdari General Team Group is buzzing with quite a number of people that are landing roles. So this is highly successful. That I can guarantee you, because again, you're going to be working closely with intelligent professionals who are not here on volunteer mentor base. No, this is their full-time job and they are committed to helping you win. Actually, their KPI is tied to your success. That's the best way to say this. So we are not working with mentors that say, oh, I am passionate about mentoring, I'm passionate about this, I'd like to do that with Amdari. No, we specifically went out to hire people to get to do this with you. Okay, then apart from the specialist you work with Mondays to Friday, that's the person that equips you technically and makes sure that you're skilled in that niche you're coming in as. You also work with the employability specialist. This is the person that revamps your CV, optimizes your LinkedIn, helps you understand the best way to navigate the UK job market, as well as preps you for interviews, one-on-one interview prep. There is the general one, yes, but there is the one-on-one interview prep also. Pretty much everything around you standing out in the job market, applying to jobs and just showing up the right way. So they also guide you on how to use CV Matchly. Now, CV Matchly is an AI tool that helps you, and it's a Chrome extension. So it helps you understand and know if your CV is a match for the job you're about to apply to. Now, my company can be hiring for a business analyst. My company probably in the fintech space. Let's say Elizabeth also has a company and that company is in e-commerce. If Elizabeth's company needs a business analyst and my company needs a business analyst, trust me, the problem that made us say that we need a business analyst is going to be different. The role you're going to perform in Elizabeth's company as a business analyst is going to be different from mine. Do you know why? First things first, we don't operate in the same industry. Secondly, our business models are not the same. So that already even tells you that your job description will be tied to the unique pain point that my company is facing. Not just because, industry-wise, I'm different from Elizabeth's company and the likes, but also because of the actual problem that we're facing that made us say, okay, we need a business analyst at this point. Okay. So because of this single fact, your CV cannot be used to apply to different jobs. Yes, they are all business analyst role, but I promise you, you can't use the same CV to apply to all of them. So because of the stress that comes with tailoring your CV to different roles, and you're advised to apply to at least 10 jobs in a day, 20 jobs in a day, the stress is there. Oh, I have to revamp my CV. So we decided to partner with CV Matchly, and you have 3 months free access to use CV Matchly. This platform fixes your CV for you to the job you're applying to, so that you have a high chance of getting called for an interview. All right. Secondly, it lets you know if your CV is or rather, if the company is sponsoring. So I was speaking to someone a couple of days ago, and this person says, Omomi, how do I respond to sponsorship questions, especially when the company says they are not sponsoring? How do I make an arrangement with them? How do I propose alternatives to them? I said, let's start with the first question. Are they sponsoring? Do they have the license to sponsor? Are they on the list of licensed sponsor? This person said, I don't know. So I said, so that means we don't even have a conversation here, because we can't start talking about how you would approach, having maybe an arrangement with them and the likes, when maybe they don't even have the certificate to sponsor. And it's a lot of paperwork. It's also going to take time. It's something that they'll do today and then you get the result tomorrow, right? So this already cancels out anything I wanted to tell him on that end. So I told him the first thing is to know if the company is sponsoring. That is your first strategy, not, oh, how do I negotiate? How do I give alternatives? How do I have other? No, you need to know first if they sponsor. So this tool makes it easy for you to know. You don't need to go to gov.uk to find that out. You don't need to use the LinkedIn Boolean strategy and approach. This tool is a Chrome extension, so it works on any job board. All right. If time permits, I would show you how it works. But if time doesn't permit, best believe in the program, you are given a proper guide on how to use CV Matchly. All right. So these are just more people that have gotten jobs in the program and requesting for reference. That's because you also need reference. Okay. Reference solidifies everything else. It validates your claim of skills and work experience and the contribution you've had in the past. So you can see this is clear from Healthcare Island reaching out to us and saying, Olainka has nominated you to provide an employment reference for the application to Healthcare Island. And this other one says the above named has been offered a position as a systems analyst and has provided your details as a referee. So that's just the beautiful thing about this. Now enrollment is on and it is £600 instead of 800. 800 is the original fee, and we go back to 800 tomorrow night. So within now and tomorrow, so that's pretty much 24 hours from now, and this is a webinar only discount. Okay, so the fee right now is £600 and you can pay 3 times. When I say 3 times, I'm not saying pay today, pay tomorrow, pay next tomorrow. No. And I'm not saying pay this week, pay next week, pay in 2 weeks time. I'm saying pay today, pay next month, and pay in 2 months time. So you're spreading your payment across 3 months. Now, if £600 is too much and you want to pay lesser, you can pay 500, but that is if you choose to pay full payment. Okay, you can pay 500, and this is a zero risk promise. Okay, this is a zero risk promise, but I understand that most times people have paid for training programs here and there, and it's 100% very valid when people have fear or doubts that, oh, I've done this before, I didn't get something as promised and the likes. Yes, so we always encourage people who have that much doubts, again, that much doubts, that okay, you can go the route of the installment payment. If you pay your first installment, you would be in the program already for like 4 weeks before your second installment is due. That tells you that you would have felt the pulse of the program. If you don't like it, you don't need to pay the subsequent fees at all. It's not a compulsory thing. It's not like you're compelled to. But if you trust in what has been discussed today, Elizabeth, everything she said, and the brief that I have given you right now about how we do this and what we do with you, then, and you want to save more, than 200, you can go the route of the full payment and secure your spot. But trust me, Amdari is here to stay. We want you to enjoy this program and recommend it to your friends and family. One thing I always say is we cannot promote Amdari alone. We need other people who would experience this and spread the word for us. And the best way to achieve this is if you come in, you like it, and of course, you would have your network of fellow immigrants or even new people, maybe family members that moved and are looking not to do care work or move away from care work or menial work. And of course, we want Amdari to be the first thing you mention to them. So we are here committed to make sure that you enjoy this. So how do you secure your spot? Let me show you something real quick on how to secure your spot. So my colleague has dropped a link in the chat. That's Amdari Growth. She dropped a link for you in the chat, and that link simply will redirect you to the page you see on my screen. So I just dropped it. I'll take every question, Kwesi and everyone else. I'm going to attend to everybody, trust me. So you click on the link you see on my screen, you get redirected to this page, okay? Right here on this page, scroll to the program of choice. You would see the different the different programs that we have. Now I'm going to use business analysis for this demo because I know this is a business analysis and project management conversation. So you come here, you can scroll down to read more about the program. These are some of your mentors. Remember, I said we have more of people like Elizabeth on the team. Funny enough, Elizabeth's picture is not even here. So you can see other people that we have here. So I think the product team skipped that. So there are some people whose pictures are not here. But these are the amazing smart ladies that work with our project or business and business analysis team. So if I show you project management, you'd also see mentors like that. The same thing for every program. So these are the people that you get to work with. High quality, amazing professionals that are committed to seeing you win. Like, I wish I can share the Amdari WhatsApp group with you right now so you see the excitement going on. So you're good with everything you have read. Just click on apply now. Okay, once you click on apply now, you get redirected to this page you see on my screen. So on this page, all you have to do is scroll down. If you're joining from the UK, obviously just select June UK or June US Canada. That's because of time zone. Okay, we are trying to separate the teams so that people don't have issues with time zone. So select the one that works for you, June or UK or US. And the same thing with this one. Then scroll down. You can see right here, full payment means paying 500. Installment means paying 600. If you're anyone that works for you, honestly, just select it and click on proceed to payment. Once you do that, these are just like summary of your personal detail and everything else. When your first installment would be due, second installment due, third installment, all of that, that's just what this is. Then confirm your information is correct and confirm that you've read the terms and condition and click on proceed to payment. Once you do that, it redirects you to the page where you can fill your card details. Now, fill in your card details and click on pay. Because I won't be filling an actual card detail, I'll just show you how to finish it up right on this page, okay? So right here, let me move it forward and put it on ×2. And then, so I'll be done in like 1 minute and I'll take your questions, okay? So once you click on pay, it processes your payment and tells you it's done. Then it redirects you to this page where you can set up your profile. Please, this is compulsory. This is more like your enrollment form. So select your skill level, intermediate, beginner, whichever one that applies to you, your country of residence, UK, US, Canada, or even if you're still in Nigeria or Ghana. Select your gender, male, female. How did you find out about Amdari? Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whichever one that applies to you. What influenced your decision to enroll for this internship? Type it, okay? Then, which of our sessions influenced your decision? By virtue of being on this call today, select Thursday and, sorry, let me just move back a bit. I think I moved back a little bit more. Yeah, so just select Thursday and Friday tech career. You would see it at the very top. It's just really right there. Okay, so just select the Thursday, Friday session. Please, it's very compulsory to fill that attendance form. And once you're done and you click on submit, you are redirected to this page that tells you, hold on, I think I skipped it, tells you that your payment is successful and you should go to dashboard. Yeah, this page, it says go to dashboard. Once you click on it, you are redirected to your dashboard and you can take crash courses in business analysis, project management. In case we have other people from other career paths, we also have for data, cybersecurity, all right here on this page. And that's how you secure your spot in the program. So we're going to take questions right about now, and I will come back to what I see here. Now, let me tell you one beautiful thing about securing your spot within the next 24 hours. You'll be given access to a particular mentorship group, which is a mentorship group for the VIP workshop, VIP job application workshop. What happens here? It's simple. Yes, it's a workshop. Yes, it's about job applications and everything in between, but it's also a place where we get to shortlist you for access to speaking to recruiters. We are currently in conversations with a couple of recruiters, including recruitment agencies, and priority is placed on Amdari interns. This is a new development for us. This is a new thing for us. And the reason why we are going this route is honestly anything that just makes our program improve and get better. That's what we jump on. So we recently partnered with some recruiters in the UK, and we are currently in a phase where our interns moving forward can easily, all right, just get vetted already. They know how this program works, they know how quality it is, and they know the quality of people we recommend for them. So that group, the VIP workshop group, it's more like your unfair advantage. Okay, you having access there is simply you being in the presence of people that would quickly mention you in rooms. What do I mean? The same way you'd work in a company and you want to be within the radar of people that would mention you in room of opportunities. That's the same way this is. So don't just mingle with the crowd. Look for strategic ways to position yourself. And this is one of those strategic ways. But because of the limited access we take on that group, you would have to, this is something I would like to clarify. Every intern has access to this, but priority base is why this group exists, right? But every intern has access to these recruiters and the conversations that I mentioned. But because of priority, some people would get more and yeah, all of that. So if you'd like to be in this group, you would also need to secure your spot within the next 24 hours. So I think we can take questions right about now, Elizabeth. So I see some questions for you from Faith. Hello, Miss Elizabeth, and a couple of them like that. So do you want to take the questions now? I think she said it a couple of times. Have you attended to Faith? Elizabeth, are you there?
No, I haven't. So I'm going to
Okay.
look through all of the questions now. Faith,
Okay.
I'll type in my WhatsApp number. I'm just going to give you like.
All right. So I just dropped the payment link again for everyone else who would be securing their spot in the next 24 hours while I hand over back to Elizabeth to attend to questions. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for that outro, Omomi. So let's bring this meeting to a close with all answers to all your questions. If you have any, please raise your hand. I can see some hand raised. Let me take those that have been in the comment for some time. Are we going to be trying to gain more knowledge? I've answered Treasure's question. That's a yes. Uche, I've answered that question. Faith, I've replied you. How much is the next cohort? Demaro, you have seen that up on the screen. An observation from Kwesi, not to create a Nigerian-Ghana war. Most testimonials are mostly Nigerian only. Do you have other nations getting opportunities with Amdari? Yes, we do. We have a lot of them, but of course the slides cannot take them, and that is not intentional. All right, if it looks like Nigerians, it's mostly Africans in diaspora. Okay, we have, I can't remember names now. We had a Sandra that got GRC. Yeah, we do have, I can't remember their names, but we do have, it's not a Nigerian thing. Secure a discount. Okay, second question, are all jobs only in UK? As I'm in Africa, can I get a job that will sponsor me to work outside Africa? There's a possibility. So I won't answer that question with a yes or no, because one, again, your skill set, your strength, your positioning, and then it's usually left to, you can apply to the job, but it's left to the company to work with that sponsorship. All right. And if you are their best candidate and they're willing to sponsor, that can also work. So it's a 50-50. To secure this car, I need to speak with you. Treasure, you need to speak with who? If it's me, you have my WhatsApp number in the chat. I put that as a link, so you can easily click on the link. 29-22-95. Yeah, you can easily click on the link. I deferred from April cohort to June. How do I join the June cohort? Just simply send us an email, because if you defer, then If you defer, then you automatically will be added to the June one, but send an email just so that I can follow up internally. My question is, a couple of weeks ago, the fee was 400. Please, why is it now 600? I will defer that question so more will me to respond, and then I will take the hands that
Yeah.
I raised. I already did, but no response. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
just says you already did, no response. I'm not sure who you emailed, but here's my email so that I can follow up with it. Please copy me, do like a reply all to your last email, and then add my email in copy so I can now follow up with the trail. Demaru, I have skipped your question. No, I didn't skip your question. My question is quite long. I want to understand the structure of the program. Okay, I'll come to that. Omomi, I'm
Yeah.
deferring Emma's question.
Yes,
Then
yes. Let me
I'll-
attend to that. So, Amma, thank you very much for that. You're very, very correct. A few months ago, it was actually even 390, not 400. That's why we always mention this. Whenever there is a discount, please take advantage of it. That discount was on for like 5 months or more, right? So it's gone back to the original fee of 800, but we're still giving you discounts regardless. So I urge you to take advantage of this new one, whether it's the 500 one or the 600 discount or the 600 discounted fee. All right. So that we're not saying this again when it's back to 800, which is the original fee, like I mentioned. So yes, a few months ago it was 390, and it's because we understand what the economy says. We left it on for like a very long time, but we've taken it back to the original fee. But then even at that original fee, we're still giving discounts. So I would just encourage you to take advantage of it, because like I mentioned, it's going back to 800 from Saturday. All right. So yeah, thank you very much. Elizabeth, over to you.
All right, thank you, Mommy. I hope that answers your question. I mean, it does. If you have a follow-up, please feel free to ask. I will go back to Demaro's question. He says he wants to understand the structure of the program. All right. So I assume that you have been trained. All right. I assume that it has been you have been trained, you have this knowledge. Even if you don't, we will still give you a walkthrough. However, the program is you are going to be given real world project over 4 months. You're going to work on between 4 to 6 projects, depending on the scope. You're going to be given a project brief. We're going to explain the challenge to you. We are managing all of this using our IMS, which you get onboarded to once you register. We're going to give you project and then guidance. So you have a project to deliver a result or deliver an output or a set of deliverables and artifacts within 2 to 3 weeks. And then we'll give you daily tasks. Now, because these projects are broad, it's like, hey, Amdari is going through some changes and they need to start using a CRM tool. Recommend to them what tool to use, do all of the documentation, and how do they get started using the tool. Now, I'm not going to throw you to the wind and say, okay, go and figure this out. We're going to take it. If it's a 2 weeks project, week 1 has 5 days, Monday to Friday. Week 1, day 1, what are you supposed to do today? So we take them little by little in smaller chunks. So even though you're trying to create a BRD or you're trying to create a product or you're trying to do a prototype, you have to start from somewhere. Now, where do I start from? When people look at the brief, I'm like, okay, I'm on the job now. Where do I start from? So we tell you where to start from. And then you have guidance. We meet with you twice a week. They're called drop-in sessions. There are sessions where we now come to a meeting like this, and then you ask questions regarding that project, and then we answer your questions, and then we teach you other things. You'll be exposed to tools and techniques that you're probably not aware of, but are required to do that project. So if you've never used the likes of Confluence, you've never used Visio, Power Automate, and your project requires that you do that, we won't tell you go to YouTube and figure it out. All right, we're going to teach you this is how to use Power Automate, this is how to approach your project, and on like that. So that is the structure of the program. I think, okay, Chrissy says that all the classes in the evening. We try to find a balance. All right, if you're in Europe, we try to find a balance between working hours and evenings. So I wouldn't say they're evenings. Sometimes it could be in the middle of the day, but it's mostly towards like 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess you can call that evenings. And then if you're in North America, because now this is UK, so the North American team also has their time. So because we know that you're working, we usually agree as a group. It's either if we cannot find the balance, then the specialist, like I will now, I'm now the judge and jury, so I put a stamp and then pick a time. But usually the whole cohort will agree on what time works best. If we can't agree, we put a poll. If we can't agree on the poll, then the specialist will now I have sent you an email. All right, that's fine. The specialist will then define what the baseline is. So Demario, Tokwe and Ferry. I've taken all the questions in the group and the chat, so I will take your hand raised questions. Demario, did you want to ask a follow-up question, or was your question answered already?
Yes, it's fine. Thank you very much.
All right, great. Ferry, let's have your question. Ferry.
Sorry, I've sent message to you on WhatsApp already.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Amma, let's answer your question.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Amma.
Oh, I wanted to ask if you can extend the discount because we really have to save for the 400 deal. And now that I'm ready to join, it has gone back to normal price. So I was just asking if there's something you can do about it.
Good question. I'm going to defer this to Mommy.
Okay, so yeah, Amma, sadly, there is actually we can't actually take it back to the old price. That's why I said it was on for months.
Really?
And yes, it was on for months. I promise you, since last year up until last month. Like, I think since like
of it last month. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good to know from Amdari just last month.
Sorry about it's been on like that for like months, like since September last year. Honestly, yeah. So yeah, sadly there is nothing we can actually do about the pricing at the moment. I can only advise that you take advantage of the current discounts. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mommy. Ferry, your hand went up again, or is that an error?
Yeah, sorry. Please, is it possible for you to extend this payment to like Monday or Tuesday for us that are still expecting our salaries?
Good
All right,
question.
we'll do that.
600
Yes.
Just 24 hours, I think.
Okay, we're going to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess you will get all the information about the extension in your WhatsApp group. You get also this slide in your WhatsApp group. And I guess, excuse me, I guess we can call it a day. It has been, I'm going through the comment again just in case it's something I missed. Treasure dropped a question that I didn't follow up. I need to speak with you. I'm not sure who you refers to. So if you want to ask, that's fine. Yeah. So we've touched on all of the questions and everybody has gotten their responses. So I will see you again soon. And if I don't, well, don't let me not see you again. So if I don't see you again, I should be hearing about you in project management. So it's either you are in one of these tracks or you are talking to me. All right. Let's call it a day. It's been a good conversation. And enjoy the rest of your evening.
Elizabeth, sorry, please, before we drop off, just in case you have more questions, guys, and maybe we didn't attend to everything here. So we have clarity calls Mondays to Fridays, 1 p.m. I'm on the call, 8 p.m. my colleague is on the call. So just in case there is something you probably didn't get to ask on this call and it comes to your mind at a later time, you can jump on that. My colleague just dropped the link for you to book that session. So it's a smaller group, smaller people, like not as big as this. And like I said, I'm available 1 p.m. and my colleague is available by 8 p.m. Ugo has a question. I'm trying to pay, but it's in GBP. Yes, Ugo, are you not in the UK? Where are you, please? Are you in Canada, Nigeria, US? You can type where you are. If it's Nigeria, we have a separate link for that payment. But if it's in Canada or US, the link is just change the currency. There is a place where you can change it. So let me know where you're joining from, Ugo. US. Okay, yes. So please guys, just give me a minute. Let me just show Ugo something. So when you come to the page I shared earlier, am I still sharing my screen? I actually just realized that I'm still sharing. So let's say you click on
You're
apply.
sharing
Let me
now.
yes. So I'll just select any program for the purpose of this conversation. Click on apply now. And then when you scroll down, see here, GBP, just click on it. This is USD. See, it changes the price. This is Euro, it changes the price. This is CAD, it changes the price. So just select the currency you want to pay in and you'd be fine. Okay. So is that fine? Does that help? Okay, yeah. All right. AJC says, how much is the price in Nigeria? So just convert the pounds. It's just the pounds equivalent, pretty much. And there is a different link for that one, just in case you want to pay in Naira, AJC. So Jennifer, please, can you drop your number also? But let me still drop the clarity link. So in case you want to speak to me tomorrow by 1 p.m., I would be here. I just dropped the link. Yeah. So if you pick 8 p.m., my colleague is going to be on the call. Her name is Christiana. But if you want something faster, like WhatsApp conversation, Jennifer is going to drop her number right now. So Jennifer, please, can you drop your number so they can reach out to us? So in case you need that link to pay in Naira, AJC, you can just send Jennifer a message. She just dropped her number. So just send Jennifer a message to ask any other question. Thank you very much. That was what I wanted to add. Thank you, Elizabeth. Amazing session. Well done. So you can actually wrap up.
All right. Thank you, my fellow brothers and sisters.